Veruschka Zarate of Pride and Joy Quilting.
In case anybody doesn't know yet, you have a quilt that apparently people are flocking to. Tell us about that quilt and what happened.
My quilt named Dignity, based on the artist laureate D.C. Lamphier's statue called Dignity, which is in South Dakota. I reached out to him in 2020, which was almost 5 years ago, Lilo, to ask for permission if I could make a quilt, and he graciously granted me permission to make it. That was 2020. And over the years, you know, life happens, but I was able to finish piecing the front. And after I pieced the front, I thought, well, I need to piece the back as well, right? To tell the full story of this incredible statue of Dale Lamphier's Dignity statue. And so I pieced the front, I pieced the back. That was a whole experience, then lining it up, and submitted it to the MQG's QuiltCon, and it won Best of Show, which is wild.
What a huge tribute to, number one, your work, the skill, and then just the beauty of the piece itself.
Thank you.
And so, because this is a project that you've been working on for a number of years, what is it like for you to see the fruition of what you just were attracted to initially as a piece of artwork to now the moment of winning in this Best of Show?
It's very meaningful when you find a piece that inspires you at a certain chapter in your life. I was very drawn to this idea of, number one, it being a native indigenous Lakota woman who, she's 50 foot tall. I mean, stainless steel, glass, part of the quilt is made out of glass. And it was very meaningful to me, the symbolism of Lamphir calling the statue Dignity. And for me, this term dignity really talks about the inherent value, respect that every human being and even the earth has in its inherentness, if you will. And for me at the time, I had a parent who was suffering with cancer, and he was in the last stages. And when you see a parent go from being larger than life to skin and bones, the idea of dignity comes up a lot, right? How does someone maintain their sense of value and worth when they are, in essence, disappearing? And in the simplest form, dignity can be found in simply clothing yourself, right? In clothing yourself in something that feels, that honors who you are as a person. And it was not lost to me that the statue of a Lakota woman about to embrace herself in a quilt, wrap herself in a quilt, is called Dignity. And that symbolism of wrapping yourself in a quilt is the embodiment of dignity, hit me like a ton of bricks. And I don't know if Lamphir meant that correlation, or if it was more of she as a Lakota woman, as really a woman of the earth, standing as a sentinel, reminding the whole earth to treat each other and the earth with dignity and value. But to me, it hit me as a grieving daughter, right? And the power and symbolism that quilts can remind us of our inherent value as human beings. Right. And so that's where it hit me as a person. And so making it, and then having others resonate with it, and everyone resonates with it at a different, with different tones and different connections, but it's deeply fulfilling as a person to make something and see others
respond to it. Yeah, absolutely. And the last time we met was, I believe, your first time at QuiltCon. And so
or ever in any quilt show.
Or ever in and we have kind of watched your journey as a quilter. And you know, you include your children in this. And so tell us about this journey of, was this your vision of what you were going to do?
No. And never in a million years did I think quilting would become what it has in my life. Quilting for me was truly a source of self-healing And oftentimes I would feel like there was a lot of pouring out that was happening in my life, but very little was being poured back in. And in a very unexpected way, quilting became that. Even though I had dabbled in many different creative mediums, as we do as artists, we try something, it kind of doesn't fit me, and we dabble and dabble and dabble. But once I found quilting, I fell in love with every single part of it. I felt in love with the use of our hands, with the design, with the community that is around quilting. And I think for me, a lesson that I've learned in this journey has been to try to be as true as I am to my personhood, and then life will bring what it needs to.
Right.
And so, no, I never in a million years thought I'd be talking to you 2020. 2022, was it?
I think it was 2022.
Yeah, it was the first time I had submitted a quilt.
Right, you were just here the first time.
Yeah, and I think for me, if I submit something, it has to be profoundly meaningful. It's not like I make 10 and submit 10 and see. For me, it's, do I have something that embodies who I am that I can show, and perhaps other people will connect it. So having done that, seeing that people responded was quite a lovely experience too. And then, yeah, last night was quite meaningful.
Yeah, and I have to, hats off to you. You knit this sweater last night
No,
before you came here. It's because it coordinates so well.
It coordinates with my quilt, though.
Your quilt, yes. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
A big honor to you, and
Thank you.
You definitely deserve it. It is a fantastic quilt. And we are so glad that you made time for us to be able to chat with you.
The honor is
today.
completely mine.
Yeah, it's a delight again to see you. And we'll keep following you, see what's happening next around the corner.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening next. I have no idea.